can you see this person's perspective,
Right.
but can you see beyond this barrier that is in front of you right now? And we do get to that place of gratitude and actually appreciation. Now, it takes us refusing to stay in a victim mindset in order to do that.
Hi. If what is it? If you know, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, first of all, let's start things off with a hi, howdy do. How are you?
Oh, I am present and accounted for. I thought that I would pull my sexy Kim Carnes voice from the closet today.
I'm telling you, how are you going to tell everybody?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's no secret. Last Wednesday, I got a knock at my door and I answered it, and COVID just punched me in the face. It, COVID was rude. And it,
It is rude. It is
yeah,
rude.
and I am 7 days today
Oh,
post. So, or not post, I'm still in it, but
yeah.
um, yeah, it has been a it has been a monkey on my back this week.
Well, it is real, and people, just, and no matter what anybody says, it is real. It is real, and the feelings are real, and it's hard. It's hard on the body, and it sticks around. It's one of those kind of gets. It knocks on the door, punches you in the face, and says, "I'm gonna come in and stay a while."
Right now, you're going to cook me dinner. It's like, what?
And you're not gonna like what you're gonna cook.
I can't smell or taste anything.
I know
So
it. So it takes away all that stuff. Oh my gosh.
yeah, I actually physically feel a little clammy today, but physically, I don't have all of the other symptoms that I had. So I am a solid 7 on the 1 out of 10, 10 feeling best I could possibly feel. So
Well,
it's all here. And I said to someone the other day, I said, I don't understand the mechanics. I know how the brain works, but I don't understand the mechanics of how snot works. And I don't understand how you can blow your nose as much as you blow your nose. And then literally 2 seconds later, there's all that again. Like we don't have compartments up there where there's just little people going, open the gate. I don't get it.
I don't either. I've thought that very same thing. I think about those little commercials with the little animated, guys, the
Yeah,
little
just
mucus men. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm going, I don't like those people. We got some people joining us, and you guys, it's a crazy day, and Elizabeth is with us. Yeah, that COVID packs a very mean punch. It does.
Mm,
And she says, glad it's a 7. Tomorrow is an 8. Yeah.
absolutely,
Hopefully.
absolutely.
Well, it really made me think about, because I don't know about you, but sometimes something knocks on our door, like COVID or a sickness or a scheduling thing that you weren't prepared. I mean, like CMA Music Fest, though I was not involved in a lot of the CMA music things, I was involved in things around that week, so much so. And the scheduling, along with my daily, I tell everybody, I said, people make fun of me because I don't like to do morning things. They make fun of me, and they put me on morning things on purpose. I think that's a funny joke, but it makes me ill because, I mean, like I was here till 1:30 this morning,
Mm,
working on some things because I'm very creative, but it's, just because it's quiet at night and I can work and I can edit and I can do voiceover at night. So when I have to turn around and be somewhere across town at 7:30 in the morning, my body clock, everything is all out of whack. And
mhm.
I think that physically we become overwhelmed
I agree.
before we even know it. Now, for some, the gift in COVID is that you have an excuse to stay home and really kind of catch up a little bit on some rest. Okay, what's the Terry take on that?
Um, well, I did not have a choice but to rest because
Yeah.
by the time it hit me, and literally when I say I opened the door and it hit me, there was no 2 or 3 days of feeling like I just don't feel good, or as we say in my family, feeling puny or feeling punky.
Yeah.
There was no 2 or 3 days of that. It was just you're out. And
Yeah.
so by Thursday, I was I literally sat up on the couch because I made my way from the bed to the couch, and I sat up on the couch. My body was aching so bad I could not get comfortable,
Yeah.
and I literally just sat there and cried. I just cried because I was like, I cannot. This, I just can't. I mean, I don't have a choice but to. But man,
When sickness comes and that feeling of being overwhelmed, that when all you can do is cry. Well,
yeah,
first
and it
of all,
wasn't even that I was overwhelmed. My
mhm.
body was just like, I'm
Well,
out.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. It's just that, and there is the ache and things, and there are times, no matter what the sickness is, no matter what the pain is, and I always say that we sometimes take that and we, oh, I hate to be sick, I hate to be sick, and we don't give ourselves the time to really heal. But I love that when I found this from Psychology Today,
Mm-hmm.
this is the overwhelmed thing, and the thing at the very top was sick,
Mm-hmm.
health.
Yeah.
What, and that, and sometimes that comes along with, but there's so many other things, because you don't get to stop necessarily. You if you're like me, you find a way to do your day job or do your job
Oh, not me.
virtually or whatever.
Not me,
Could,
girl. When COVID knocked, I called my cancels and my cancels. I called my clients and I explained to them that I needed to cancel, and I put my phone on do not disturb. And if anybody that follows me on social media or follow or has called me in the last week, they've seen that do not disturb. Now I can't tell you in I don't know how long it has been since I've had an iPhone that would let you do not disturb anybody, but I don't ever put that on do not disturb. If I'm somewhere where I don't need to have my phone on, I don't do not disturb. I just turn my phone off. But I had it on do not disturb, and I kept it on do not disturb for 6 days. And I would, when I had that second wind, reach out and just say, I appreciate you thinking about me. You know, I wasn't chatty. People knew that I didn't feel well.
yeah, you weren't in your Terry mode.
Yeah, well, I was in my Terry mode of the sick Terry mode, which
Yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
you know what, if you tell
Mhm.
people to carve out time to take care of themselves, and you tell people to turn the phone off, and you tell people to rest, and you tell people they can cancel the work if they need to, physically if
Uh-huh.
they need to, then I have to be a steward of that. And trust me, I wasn't sitting around going, what do I tell everybody and what should I be doing? I just did it because it had to be done.
That's right. That's right. Elizabeth shares, my body will tell me I'm overwhelmed before the rest of me knows. That's true. And
Hmm.
that's true. And I will make myself ill before I even realize it. Alicia says, share that picture, please. I know a few people who should see it. I think, and I hear more and more people right now, and I don't know what it is, whether it's just a busy season, but oh my gosh, bless her, Margie Singleton. Hey, Margie.
Margie,
Margie, we've been praying for you, and
we
she
have.
and I have been, and there's been a little phone tag taking place, but loving our Margie, loving our Margie.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes. Thinking about Margie a lot these days.
Joyce, good afternoon, beautiful girls.
Hey,
We love
Joyce.
you. And said, that is precisely where I was for several days. She was with Margie. There
There you
you
go.
go. Um, okay. Joyce, I agree, Elizabeth. I agree. Well, you know what? And I thought, I just sometimes if you just kind of go and lay the overwhelmed block out there, and again, I'm going to show that picture again because I thought it was so perfect. Sick, health, stress, no sleep, fear, worry, anxiety, savings, overdue, insurance, fear, late nights, time management, expectations, anxiety, retirement, job, work, debt, stress, payments, bills, headache, tired, no time. And there are other things behind that you can't even see. They're all up around there. And I said, you know that something has to give when it looks like that, but when it looks like this,
Mm-hmm.
and the ADHD brain, which I am a proud owner of, um, it gets to this point, and that's when you go, I've got to unplug in a way that I haven't unplugged.
Yeah. And when we have to unplug like that, what's real important, sometimes people can feel overwhelmed and they're like, I've got to unplug, I've got to unplug now. But also having a blueprint of when you need to unplug and having it set up. I know when you unplug because I usually get a call that says, "Hey, I'm unplugging or I'm going off the grid." And that way I know not to not to say not to freak out, but like one to respect the fact that you're unplugged and not be like, "Hey girl, hey, how's it going today? How you doing?" Da, 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 da. But to, how can I support you? You know. Um
Because people have no idea. When I say I unplug, I mean I may not get out of the bed for a day
yeah.
except to go to the bathroom. I mean, like, I don't even eat. I just, it's like, I'm so tired. I'm going to literally soak up that time and that rest and hug on a dog, and that's going to be it, you know?
Right. So I think letting people know, being responsible,
Yeah.
to let people know that you're going to go off the
Mhm.
grid.
That's good.
Also, because that alleviates that need for, hey, I know you're stressed, is there anything I can do? And they don't text back. And then it's like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Let me know you're okay. And they don't text back. And then there gets to be this like, okay, you need to text me back because now I'm worried, that kind of thing. And that could be if someone has COVID, if they have the flu bug, if they're overstressed with life in general, if
Mhm.
they are
If you
just
know that someone struggles with the black dog, I always say,
right,
and that's my word for depression. I said sometimes and the black dog chases me. So I mean, I'm out there and I'm honest about it. And when we say things like that, and when somebody doesn't hear from us and we haven't let them know, hey, I'm going to have a few days.
right, right. So just doing that is being a good steward of one your friendships and your relationships, but also
Mhm.
it's letting people know that it is okay to check on you and they won't blow your phone up 1,000 times. But if you ask for something, if you're not the person that generally asks for something
Right.
and you let people know that you're taking a little break because you need to, then when you ask for something, if you need to, excuse me, if you need to, then it's usually just reciprocated or it's just answered. It's not like
That's right.
you don't have to feel bad about asking for
Mhm.
stuff. We should never feel bad about asking, but let's be real. We live in a world where people
Mhm.
don't want to ask for stuff at all, you know.
Margie says, I'm loving my Devon now, so thank you for the prayers. I'll probably be in rehab for another week or so, but I'm doing well this morning to say hey to my girls. Talk to you later.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. We
love you,
love you,
Margie.
Margie. Yes.
Well, you know, it's I think it's important too that, sometimes we don't take our time to rest and to get rejuvenated like we need to get rejuvenated, um, because we're afraid that someone will replace us, will age us out, will say they can't handle it, so they don't call you anymore. We're afraid we won't get the call anymore. I'm just speaking honestly out here, but I will promise you, you may not get that call anymore,
But you get a
but you will
call.
get, but you'll get the call.
You get the
And
call.
it'll be another one, and you just go, "You know what?" And I started putting my foot down about certain things, like, I don't do driving at night. As a general rule, I don't drive at night now, and I've just kind of, like, set my boundaries, so when people ask me to do things, they know that if they want me to do something, they better be sending a car for me,
Hmm.
or I'm not doing it. And that parking downtown overwhelms me. And so I'm
Right.
learning to set my boundaries. And that's what we have to start doing with our boundaries, and know that there's always another thing that you can do. I have a friend looking for a job right now. And I told her, I said, what is it you want to do? And she says, I don't know if I want to do anything. I mean, I have to do something, but I don't really feel passionate about anything. If you've lost your passion, that's a symptom of being overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. If you are not um, if we become obligated to the connection, it's no longer a healthy connection. It's an obligation.
Oh,
So, we might have things going on where like you're talking about, I don't want to miss the call. I don't want to not be called back. I don't want them not to want to use me again if they can't reach me this time. But here's the thing. What we as human beings need to focus on or should or could focus on, whatever, is that we are not really, do we have control over the things we do and say? Yes. But again, if our connection to a person, a place, or an experience, a job, or whatever becomes so important that we cannot risk taking care of ourselves because we might lose that, I'm willing to wager that that is probably not something we need anyway. Because if it were a job, a person, they would understand that we need to take care of ourselves. And I can also assure you this, that if God puts you in a situation, universe puts you in a situation where you're not wanting to slow down, uh, you will take a break some way, shape, or form. Now, not all the time. I mean, I don't run myself ragged. I just happen to get COVID. But I can tell you this: I did once live in um, a movie trailer in my head where I couldn't say no to anybody. I couldn't say no. I could not see the client. I couldn't. I did. I want to work on the weekends? Hell no, I didn't want to work on the week. Who in their right mind wants to work on the weekends when you're grown, when you're young? Yeah, sure, it's fun. But did I want to do that? No. But would I do that? sorry, sorry. Girl.
You're grown. You don't want to work on a weekend. That's for kids in a movie theater.
What's wrong with you? but but I mean, and hey, there might be some people out there that it does it for them. So God bless you on that. If it does, it does not me. Um,
Oh,
but here's the thing: if we don't take care of ourselves, then something will be put in place. It's not to hurt us. It's just to say, hey, you're running blind right now. You've got these blinders on and you can't see all of this amazing stuff happening because you're so focused that if you don't return that text right now, or return that call, or jump through that hoop, or send that text for that person, or help this person with this, then your value will diminish. No, maybe you don't need those people in your life, and God or the universe is trying to say, hey, take a break, step back,
yeah.
expand that horizon, look at all these other opportunities that are here for you just to have, and that have no expectation or obligation for you other than to feed your soul so that you can be the best human you can be, so that you can move forward feeding the souls of others.
I love it. I love it. Jamie joins us. Hello, ladies. Love this and needed to hear this. Jamie, you actually gave me the idea for today's show with your post on Facebook today. You don't even know it, but here you are, and you're part of the show. And you had a post on Facebook today. And I said, you know what? I'm not the only one feeling this. Here's Jamie, a crossover in Dixon, and she's feeling this. And I knew what you had been going through and overwhelmed and sick. There's a thing that sickness does for me, since I'm not sick very often and you're not ever sick. And
Yeah.
so when we are, and it sidelines us, it's a weird thing. And then for me, and COVID has that other weird thing that it brings fear with it because there's been so much chatter about all the different things, and then the conspiracy theorists are one thing, and then all the other stuff. And so that false fear is it's fear. It doesn't matter if it's false, fake news, whatever, doesn't matter if it affects your brain, you
Right.
know but here you are, and you're muddling through it, and you're healing yourself.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I haven't been fearful about this at all. I
Mhm.
mean, I can't smell anything and I can't taste anything, so that's good and bad. But the flip side of that is my biggest thing was that the Paxlovid that they put me on, one of the side effects is a rash. And I was like, I, w- I can't get this rash. I mean, come on now. I got the
Oh,
rash. So,
oh,
and I'm like, great. So it's just that itchy little, people call it baby acne, those little
uh-huh.
tiny
Oh,
little
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pimples. And I've got them it's just all over my body. So
Girl.
that's been a fun run at it. But here's the other thing, it's how we look at it. If I said to you, oh, Devon, I got COVID and I've had a fever and I can't taste and I can't smell and I broke my little toe last Tuesday, which I did.
You too? I have a broken little toe too.
I broke my little toe last Tuesday. I didn't even know how I broke it. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing when I broke it. I just looked down Tuesday night and I was like, my toe's broke. what the heck? So clearly I wasn't present in my day, but and so then there was the COVID and and I could. It's so easy to go, oh God, what in the world could happen next? Well, one, we don't ask that question because it's stupid, because something always can happen. And two, it's just life unfolding. And if we don't take time to go, you know what? For the last 364 days, I've gotten up in the morning. I felt pretty darn good. Life has been great. Da 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 da. Jazz hands. If we're not given the same praise and the same excitement to those days, then why are we going to choose to take the days that hit us kind of one after the other and just gnaw on those? Because it's easy.
Uh-huh.
It's easy,
It's
but
easy.
it's not healthy.
Okay, I'm gonna throw somebody on the bus very shortly, but Alicia, that is wish I could do that. No is difficult. Yeah, it is, but it's a good lesson to learn.
And I'll
Elizabeth,
tell you this though,
uh
Alicia, once you start with the no's, if you practice the no's, practice them with people that you can trust. If you've got some folks like that in your life that you can just say, no, I can't, you know, practice them with those folks. Practice them even with yourself sometimes, you know. I had to start doing that a long time ago in my 30s when I was like, well, do I want to eat something healthy for lunch, or do I want a honey bun? Well, I really want a honey bun. No, Teri, no, no. I mean, I had to. You have to have that conversation.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
start with those, and I promise you, Alicia, the more that you use it, it is uncomfortable at first, but the more that you use it, the the more effortlessly it will come, and it will come with a respect that people will actually, when you say it, it's not that it's hard to do it. What we receive on the other end is hard. We don't like the feeling of making someone upset or letting someone down or whatever. So when we start training those people how to treat us in those instances, and they see that we're respecting ourselves, then their energy shifts around that.
Oh, that's just wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. Elizabeth says, I've gotten to a point where the people in my life and the tasks in my life are here because I want them here. I've gotten so much better at knowing that no is a complete sentence.
Hmm.
I love you. Um, my issue is I can't stand to let anyone down or put them in second place.
Mm,
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna get out of the way. I'm actually about to do this.
mm.
Alicia.
Alicia. And y'all, we're not throwing Alicia under the bus. I don't even know Alicia, but I know the struggle. And so I'm just going to say this very lovingly and very gently, and I am not going to harp on this. But you are letting yourself down and you are putting yourself second if you are not taking care of yourself first. And we've all done it. We've all done it. And it's not easy to shift it, but it can be shifted if you just work at it. It absolutely can be.
Well, I know, and it's no firsthand. Now, Suzanne is with us. Hi, Suzanne. So good
Hey,
to see
Donna.
you. All right, let me see if I make sure that I got everybody. Okay. Um, Alicia was saying, in fact, I even dread going out to buy groceries. We're talking about driving at night or driving out or whatever. Alicia, I'm going to tell you about something that changed my life, and it came to that. Is I realized I was spending an hour of a day to go shop, at least to go get in the car, go somewhere. What are the, there are people they pay to do that, and it's called Instacart.
Right.
And I thought Instacart was going to be so expensive, and I said, "Oh, I can't do it." But they go to Aldi, and I have my little set little list, and I follow that. And do you know it has been so much cheaper for me to use that service.
Hmm.
It saves me time because nobody pays me to shop, but somebody, it blesses this person who's making their living out there doing that. It blesses them and they get paid to do it. I don't have to stop what I'm doing so that that is there. I mean,
Right.
I literally, it takes me 2 minutes. I stay on my budget because I don't buy any impulse things. I look at my budget and say, I'm going to spend $50 and I'm going to get just the things I need. I'm going to get my healthy stuff. And that's what I'm getting. I'm, I don't have to walk by the chocolate aisle in Aldi. I
And
mean,
the
let's be
other
real.
thing about that is it saves what you've purchased in the past. So if you are a habitual purchaser, like if you purchase dog food the same time or chicken the same time or eggs every week, then all you got to do is just add to cart again, add to cart again, add to cart. And before you know it, you're kind of doing your own. I mean, it's doing it for you, you know.
Yeah, it is really amazing. So I want to suggest that to you, Alicia. Just start putting in some time saving. And people are going, I don't want to give my information to an app. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I found that Instacart has worked better for me than the Walmart.com delivery.
Well, Instacart too, you get to choose between like, I don't know if you get to choose Walmart, but you have Kroger and Publix and Aldi's, and it's customized to whatever demographic you're live. Like if you're in South Dakota, it's whatever your grocery stores are there that participate.
And Joyce, I put you on a little bit earlier, and I saw I ran a couple of your comments. So yeah, I can see some of your comments, but I don't think I missed one. Um, uh, and Alicia says, thank you. It really is a good thing. And you don't ever have to leave your house, and it's not some big amount, and you can tip according to what you think is necessary. Barbara says, taking care of number one is the most important lesson anyone can do.
That's right.
So I'm going to go back and see if I missed a Joyce.
And learning to accept yourself as a number one, because a lot of times from family demographics and experiences in life, we haven't really been sent the message, a clear message that we are a priority in our own life. And because we've been taught, or it's just been, that's how life is, that we're taking care of other people. So we don't naturally learn that we are the number one until, you know, something happens. And hopefully, you know, you do your work, your personal self-development work, you'll discover that. But also, you know, you can get there just by, you know, evolving in life and seeing how, you know, what you need to do for yourself to treat yourself better and healthier.
And Joyce, I missed this one. So if this is the comment you're talking about, poor Teri, you sound like you should be resting today instead of being here for us. We surely appreciate you. So if that was the one I missed, I'm so sorry.
I appreciate that, Joyce. I sound rough, but I could probably dance a jig if I needed to. Now, I'm not going to get crazy and do that right now because, you know, I had a client tell me this morning, we were talking on the phone, and I said, well, so they said, are you going to do the launch date today? And I said, yes. And they said, well, we'll look forward to watching. And I was like, that's great. And then I walked past the mirror and I realized that all my clients had been phone clients today. And I said, oof, Teri, you need to put your face on. And then I said, you know what? It's just Devon and 7,000 of our favorite closest people. I ain't putting my face on for nobody. Besides that, I can't see my face. Y'all see it. So, you know, I feel
Girl,
fine.
I didn't put on mine today, so we're in the same ilk. I'm going. I was here till 1:30 last night editing and working, and I got up this morning and I said I'm clean. I took a shower, and it's like no makeup day, and it's just like y'all just gonna deal because this is us, and this is the way we want you guys to come to this too. This is our, I call it the no makeup hour. It's literally we take off all the mask and all the stuff, and we put it out there. When you go to a workshop with Teri, you put it out there. And that's the only way we heal. And Joyce says, okay, sorry, must have been when I went to stir my beans, multitasking as usual, working, cooking, doing laundry, listening to y'all to get a little peace. I ain't even going to stir that pot. Oh, Angie's, you both look beautiful. Well, Angie,
Thank you, Angie. I'm going to take that. Thank you.
I know we're getting close to the end of a broadcast day, but you know, I just hope that before I know what I wanted to ask you about before we get out of here. I have found something, and I know it's crazy. It's on TikTok because late night sometimes TikTok gets really weird. I mean, there's some weird stuff on live TikTok at night. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, it's some weird people who are night owls. Weird. And I don't usually call people weird, but I mean, there's some weird stuff on TikTok. But I have found something that relaxes me. And you see these people doing things like this, you know, it's Reiki. Yeah. And you know what Reiki is because you do that. Master. You're a Reiki master. And I go, I don't even know what all that is, but now some people look like they're doing a hoogly boogly dance, and I feel darkness coming on, but some of it is just so relaxing. And I'm telling you what, I can just set up my phone and they're doing the, and doing this little thing with their hands, and pretty soon I'm out. I mean, it's it works better than anything I've ever done.
Yeah, there's Reiki, and then there's also not the same, but very similar as far as energy goes, is Qigong. So if you see people doing things like they're packing and they're
Uh-huh.
moving this, that's more Qigong
Uh-huh.
than it is Reiki. Reiki is more non-touching, but you can't see because I'm down low, but like non-touching, but surface above surface, because everything is energy. When I work with people in energy work, they're like, I don't know, that just sounds kind of weird to me. And I'm like, okay, so turn around, look the other direction, and tell me when you feel me get close to you. When am I too close? And I'll start at the other side of the room, and it might be 12 foot apart, and I'll just start walking slow. And it's interesting because I can be 8 foot from somebody, and they'll go, okay, stop. I'm like, okay, how close am I to you? You're right up on me. Okay, turn around. And they realize that I am 12 foot away from them. And then some people, I'm like, tell me when it's uncomfortable, when you want me to stop. And I'll get within 2 inches of them, and then I'll have to stop because otherwise I'm just going to run over them. But that's just energy work. And we've all had that. How many of you have ever been walking down a street or doing whatever it is you're doing in life, and you feel like somebody's watching you, or somebody's too close to you, or the
Yeah.
phone's going to ring in just a minute, or you know something, I need to go stir those beans because they're fixing, I feel like they're going to boil over, that kind of stuff. That's energy. And so that's all that is. So when
Mhm.
people get into, they weird their stuff out about Reiki, it's just about it's about the movement of energy, and sometimes energy in our body gets stuck. And so when you're trying to rest at night and you're kind of like your energy's trying to move, and you've got a big ball of obligation sitting in its way, and it just kind of it gets stuck on this side. If you're watching people move energy, then you're probably affected by that. And so that ball that's keeping you awake melts down like butter in a pan, and then you're flowing, and then you're relaxed. And so you go to sleep. They're not
Oh,
doing it to you personally, but
yeah.
it also is because it's energy, and energy's everywhere. Like the same lights that, well, we're not in the same county, but the same lights that you know, cut on the same energy from NES, National Electric Service, that cuts on my lights. It's the same energy that's cutting on Suzanne's lights because she's
Uh-huh.
a couple miles from me.
Uh-huh.
But they didn't just today go, hey, I'm just going to cut Teri and Suzanne's lights on. It's the same energy.
Yeah.
And when we tap into it, we benefit from it.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, it's just like when you turn me on to binaural beats, it's just like that energy, that frequency, and I just kind of I went with it because I go, wait a minute, I feel really good. What is this thing? And there's this one, and her name is Reiki Fairy, and I followed, but she's very soft spoken, and and I'm not talking about there's some weird stuff on there. There's some people on there doing all sorts of fortune telling and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. You find the people that you resonate goodness with, and it's just literally the music and those singing bowls. What is the deal with the singing bowls? All of a
That's
sudden I'm going,
that's an energy too. It's an energy
okay.
vibration. It's all vibration. It's the same vibration if somebody walks in the room and they go, if Elizabeth or Joyce or you or anybody, if well, you do workshops with me, if Elizabeth, Joyce, any of those folks walk into a workshop that we're doing, and we're like, oh my goodness, that's a good energy. If they
Okay.
walked into that workshop and we were just like, it's Elizabeth again, she wouldn't want to come back, right?
Right. Okay.
So that's the same thing. It's a vibration. That nails on a chalkboard are a vibration.
Elizabeth says singing bowls are one of the sounds in my sleep machine. They knock me out fast. I sleep like a log.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it really is that.
So it's all vibration. They're just different. They're different kinds, and it's different for everybody. Some people love the sound of hoot owls when they're trying to sleep. I cannot sleep with a hoot owl because my brain goes, I need, mm, I don't need something with a cadence to it because my brain wants to keep up with the cadence, and it won't shut down. So it's different for everybody, you
It
know.
really is, and, Shelley, who went to Ireland with us, she had her white noise machine, and I thought, "I'm not gonna be able to sleep with that sound in the background."
Mm. And
Guess
you
what?
like a baby, right?
I mean, apparently I can sleep on an interstate without a car. Uh,
So it makes a difference, that it makes a big difference in
Oh,
how.
Andean flute music also works that way for me. Same for me. That
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So, it's just different, and it's different for what people are used to.
Mhm.
Some people can sleep next to somebody that snores and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm out like a light." If I'm trying to sleep next to somebody that snores, forget about it because I'm listening to him snore.
Yeah. Well, and Suzanne is like, "You girls enjoy your day in life. Terry, feel better." God bless you, Suzanne. I appreciate you. Well, that's our show for today, and hopefully you can have a takeaway. Learn to say no responsibly. Tell people you're taking a break, and then turn around and find things that relax you and do you. And it's sometimes that feeling of energy release and that relaxation is just what we need. Sometimes it's better than a vacation.
And I'm just going to tweak a little bit because you know me and my tweaking.
Yeah, well, it's yours now, so you just take it over.
It's not so much about us learning to say no because by the time we're two, we know how to say no. We say no all the time. We say no all the time.
No.
And we also say no to ourselves a lot
Uh-huh.
because we're saying yes to other people. So it's not about necessarily learning how to say no. It's about learning to not take it personal when you don't get the response or the reaction that you want from someone when you do stand up for yourself and ask for what you need to take care of yourself. And if saying no is that, or sometimes saying yes, because sometimes you need help, you need support, and we've gotten so used to saying no. We'll say yes to everybody else, but we won't ask for help. Can I help you do that? No, 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 I'm fine. I'm fine. I got it. And it's
Mhm.
like, really?
Are you
So,
fine? Yeah. Mhm.
hmm so saying yes when we need to say yes, and allowing ourselves to say no when we need to say no. But but we know how to say no already. We're good at it.
I love it. Well, take us home, girl. Take
All
us
right.
home.
Well, as always, we appreciate you all choosing to spend your time and your energy with us on Wednesdays and at this particular special time of the day at 12 noon Central Time, and wherever that is in the rest of the world for everyone else. And until we see you again next week, we want you to carve out moments that you can be intentional with your thoughts and your words and your actions so that you create memorable moments. We're not working on creating a ticker tape day. That's going to happen when you create those memorable moments. But just small little moments of self kindness and self awareness that allow you to be the best version of you that you can be in any given moment. Because the rest of the world benefits from you being your best in that moment. And if your best is a solid 10% out of 100, but you show up in that 10%, then you are actually being the best that you can be in that moment. So give yourself grace for that. And until we see you next week, as always, God love you and increase the peace. See ya.